passed away.
When did he do that?
That was last year or last 2 years.
How is last year? The thing is very strict now. As a matter of fact, somebody gave me a number of somebody that was in Lagos. Even when I was trying to look at possibilities where to get the thing fast, and I called somebody from there and they told me that it will take 1 month for them to book me for an appointment. Then if I do the capturing finish, then it will take another a month, maybe 2 months for it to come back. I had to take off that Lagos option of one of the options that I have until I somehow contacted Ifunaya, because Ifunaya was the only person I collected her contact after the audition, and it happened because we entered the same car. We didn't even talk at the audition. It was at the bus stop that we on the other side where I was. So I didn't know they didn't tell you, because it was initially when they called, I told them they have the same thing. They told that why are we not? I mean, don't we have plans to travel?
That's what he said, exactly.
And I told them that I have plans, but it's not something I see happening very soon. So that's why I haven't gone for. But I have plans to travel definitely. Is that okay? I entered the office, like the immigration compound office. So I came in, and then he now sent one of his boys to go outside and just ask for his gospel. That was that kid. We were much there.
If not told him already that you were.
I already called him. If Naya sent me his number, so I've been talking with him. Told him I was coming that day. So when he saw my missed call, he now called me to come. So he now sent his boy to go and ask among so many of us that were sitting down here waiting for who is gospel. I raised up my hand and I said, come. Everybody was just looking at me. This boy that is just coming down. I didn't even say anything. I entered inside and get home at night. So I just went out to, I say, sharp. And my passport is out, but he will send it tomorrow because he cannot send his boys to go this evening to send it tomorrow morning. I don't know, it's like the 32 pages or so, but it's for 5 years. So I think it's the 32 pages because I heard those three said. Did you come with some of the documents? Even if you didn't come with anything. The only thing is, if they want to do it for you, then maybe you have to call somebody. Yes, I will do those things. Not even snap. Will they collect snap? Yeah, they can. They can collect soft copies. They can collect soft copies. They can just do your thumbprint. You can download. So you can collect soft copies of those documents. Let us see how the meeting goes after the house. If we are still going.
But what would be your major plan after that?
My major plan is to go into full-time content creation.
Social media.
Just Mbappe. So I also have like 2 film projects. So once I leave the house, I will start looking for sponsors and partners to the younger brother, he acts.
He used to do his own skits of competition.
Me, I think God has called me into that ministry somehow.
Comedy?
No, as in film production, acting generally, and everything that has to. People who have this vision don't end up actualizing the vision is because they are little, or let me just say little platform for this Christian film production. And then if you go out into the secular world, you have so many of them. You have Iroko, you have Ebony Life, you have Film One, you have several other film production companies that they can actually go into. And then it is when they now go there, they will now begin, and then they will be forced.
Exactly.
They will be forced to conform themselves to the process and procedures and the system which they operate there.
Yeah.
You understand? Even though some people have really stood their ground somehow and God has helped them and they are also becoming prominent or they have become prominent. And I still don't see why, I still don't know why they don't have that same vision. Since God has helped them to become prominent in this secular space, to now create something for.
Exactly.
And it's personally for me, it's a platform I've been looking out for. The vision I had since my year one, since I got into the Department of Theatre and Film Studies. It's a vision, talent that I have. God helping me. If I get a platform, a Christian platform, that will project me. I build on that. Even if I don't get a Christian platform, if peradventure, and that was why in 2019 there was a time I went all out. I went all out into the secular space. I was going for audition. I was just trying to get into that space.
Yeah.
But then I had this experience. Okay, it was a time that it was as if my effort was being frustrated. I can remember there was one audition I went for like that, and I lost my phone, I lost my ATM, I lost my bag. I was going for an audition and
just discouraged.
I looked at myself and I was like, is it that God does not want me to enter this space? I mean, I just village people, they fight for me not to enter this space. So, but after that experience, I resolved in my mind that I wasn't going to stress myself with anything audition. That when my time comes, God will somehow or anyhow project me. And that was the last time I went for an audition in 2019, 2020, 2021, before I saw this Father's House stuff, and I was like, oh, this could be that platform. So I applied. So it has always been in my mind that, as a matter of fact, when I got the admission, it was part of the thing that made me stay. Because remember I told you, I think you were the one I told that when some of my people were like, oh, if you don't like the course, 2 years later you do direct entry and then. So I got in there and I discovered that, oh, maybe God had brought me here to make a statement in this film industry. God has brought me here to actually show to the world that you can be in the world and not of the world. So I was telling Kishi the other day that the kind of gospel movies I want to produce is not the kind that you see. It's not a low budget gospel movie. It will be normal Nollywood cinematic standard movies. Not the one you will see and you will not be. Yeah, something like that. You will see. You can. Yeah, it's not a low budget movie, and some of them said if you don't look in depth into the thematic meaning, you won't actually get, or it like it being a gospel music might not really be on the surface. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying, but you are looking at it. By the time you start watching it and you start going ahead, that's the kind of gospel movie I want to do.
That's how it is. It's from, okay, maybe from the name you can say, okay.
Yes.
But when you start watching, it might not really look like gospel until you keep watching and watching. Even if you see the trailer, somehow
you won't know this is a gospel movie. But when you start watching, you will get the message. Definitely, you will get the message.
It's they are doing, investing in. If you come and watch it, she's the producer of that movie. Executive producer.
Of which movie?
Of God Calling.
Okay.
People like me, that's the kind of movie we're looking out to invest in.
Exactly now. There are so many people. In fact, in my 300 level, is it 300? No, 200 level. So the time I wanted to do a movie, that movie, I still have the script. That movie is 633 Agenda. That's the name of the movie. 633 Agenda.
633. What is the
Guess, just guess.
633. 633. That's like the system of education yourself.
Matthew 6 verse 33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and every other thing shall be added unto you. I still have that script in my house.
Makes sense. Even the title
So
itself will be
you were here,
catchy.
you
want to know what's
to be
about.
catching what's
Yes.
63 Agenda. So that I wrote that script and I wanted to produce it there. And my idea was, because back then in 200 level, that was when this, if you go to Winners Chapel there, my church, that was when this Matthew 633 thing was happening. And 2015, Wonder Double Prophetic Agenda. If you know any winner, just ask that winner, Wonder Double Prophetic Agenda. That was when Wonder Double Prophetic Agenda, and that Wonder Double Prophetic Agenda was built on that Matthew 63. Seek ye first. It was all about soul winning. It was all about soul winning. And so I wrote this script about this. The film is about soul winning. So I wrote it, and my idea was to shoot the movie, and then at least even if it's low budget, sell it in church. Go and meet my resident pastor there and say this movie is about this prophetic agenda that is going on now. Let people watch and know the benefits of sowing. The Bible said, "He that winneth sow is wise." And the Bible also said that the wise shall inherit glory. So there is glory in soul winning, which was my anchor scriptures that there's a huge benefit whenever you win any soul for Christ. When you go out for Christ, it doesn't matter the current situation that you are in, whether financially, maritally, whatever situation that you are in. If you get one soul for Christ, just like my pastor will always say, for every fish there is a coin. Every fish you catch, there is a coin inside that fish. So any soul you bring to God, there is a benefit. So that was what that script was all about. But trust me now, finance and other things that were just around it, I didn't shoot it, but I kept the script that definitely when the time comes, I will shoot that movie. So that's the kind of movie I have always envisioned, like envisaged that when time comes, you will see this movie. It's fully gospel, but it won't be gospel on the surface. It will be like subtly, we'll be preaching Christ, and if once you watch it, in fact, at the end of the whole this thing, you will know definitely this is about Christ. This is about the kingdom of God, and it will be a high budget movie. I have like three. There's another one I call. Okay, that one might be too obvious. That one might be too obvious. Seed of the Righteous is another script I have. Then Hephzibah is another script I have. Then I have Bonajas. Is it Bonages? I'm still trying to get the correct pronunciation. It's a Greek word, sons of thunder. When Jesus called them, was it who and who? Two of his disciples, I've forgotten them. Jesus called them sons of thunders. So that was when I got that thing. But I have like 4 scripts I wrote by myself that I still intend to shoot. So those 4 scripts are the major films I told you, film project I told you I have. So, but maybe I'll just start with the content creation. Then I'll now.
Is it writing or video or?
It's
or
video
what kind of
now.
content? Okay,
Video. Christian content, like I intend to do. There's one that has to do with dramatic music cover. You know all these songs, somebody will sing songs like this. I'll put you in front. Somebody that did a cover and did in fact, as a matter of fact, I was even thinking it was the cover that was the original song until I heard the original song. That oh way, you are all. Have you heard that cover? You not heard the cover. Okay, but you know what's musical cover now? where people
take somebody's
freestyle,
song
yeah,
and-
take somebody's song and do it your own
Your
way,
way,
freestyle,
yeah.
do it for freestyle. So I intend to do a dramatic, I call it dramatic music cover. We just take a particular song and build a storyline around that song, a storyline that will depict that song. Like for instance, Yada, is it Yada?
Yada, yes. Yada. Why
Take this
is
heart
it-
beyond me, and then paint a scripture of God's love. How God actually looks beyond us. I already have a script already. That's why I could relate to this one already. I have a storyline on this one already. I paint the scripture. Then after the whole this thing, you start with the song as an intro to let them know this drama is about this song, and this song is about God's love. It's about God's mercy. That God does not really look at. The Bible said, "Why we were yet sinners, He died." So it doesn't matter the level of sin. Just like Saul. Saul was a murderer. He was all sort of things. But God looked beyond those things and called him into His own ministry, God's own ministry. So I have to build something, a storyline like that. Do the song as an intro. Then after the whole drama stuff, play the song back for people, and then write it. This is a dramatic cover of so song. You understand? So I'll just be picking songs like that. I have so many songs like that, and so many storylines, different songs, different storylines, and
So
then
you act it alone, or you bring people?
I'll bring people. I'll bring people. I'll definitely bring people, but I will be a major cast there. I'll be a major cast, and then bring some other people. So when I start from there now, and then there's another one. There's another content I have to. That one is it's a gospel show, not reality TV show,
Okay.
but it will be a YouTube gospel show where I will call some of these gospel artists and gospel celebrities, have an interview with them. After the interview, so many questions, challenges, their challenges as a gospel musician, their advice to upcoming. Then after that, they will play some kind games. Sure. So those are so many. I wrote all of them down before I came here, and my plan now is once I leave this house, I just go and look at them, look at the one that I have to start with and prioritize them, the one I can start with. I know that the film project is a very big one considering the standard of movie I want to do. So I might just shift that one till maybe when I get better sponsors that are ready to bring money for this film project. And then my
that have done something like that to tell you what it takes, the requirements to do something as huge as that, so that you don't waste your money. Because there was one lady they were interviewing one day. You know that lady. Her face is popular, but I don't know her name here. She's fat like this. She was saying that she produced a movie recently. She spent millions of naira. But and the storyline was top notch. When she finished the movie, everything was said. She took it to African Magic. African Magic rejected it.
That's the problem, people. I've been into the field, so I understand how these things works, and I have contact of people that are already in the field too. You understand?
That's why I said
The current secretary of the Directors Guild of Nigeria is somebody I know, and then I have so many other friends that are in the Directors Guild of Nigeria that have, in one way or the other, they have access to African Magic. Or even me too, self. I'm not even looking at African Magic. I'm looking at Pure Flix. You know Pure Flix? Pure Flix is like Netflix, but they are basically for gospel movies, Christian movies. That's why it is Pure Flix. So you know Netflix, you can find any kind of content there, both erotic, whatever you see there. I don't know. I think it's not in Nigeria. It's in Europe. I think a European or something, somebody like that. But it's not a Nigerian thing. So I'm looking at selling what I have to an international market, which Pure Flix is one of them. And then apart from that, you see what most people don't understand about film production is you have to define your market first before you start shooting. Some people, they just, oh, this is a film, this is a good, and then it is in defining your market that you will know the team you will be working with in terms of cast and crew. You understand? That lady you must have been talking, like for instance now, African Magic cannot take any movie from you without minimum 3-star actors or actresses in that movie. They cannot. They must see a renowned or profound actor or actress face they know before they can collect that movie from you. So you can just get like 3 A-list actors in Nigeria, just pay them their normal money they ask for, and then every other person might just be an unknown face or upcoming. But in as much as you have these 3 big names in that movie, they will buy it. They must buy it. And then another thing people have not fully utilized is the concept of movie premiere, the box office. In fact, most times people make more money in the box office than when the film is actually out and selling. You do your premiere, you have friends, they come, they pay for gate fee to come and view the film in the premiere. I'm not talking about private screening. Private screening is just a few people like your production team and some few film critics that will come and tell you, you see, this scene was supposed to, you will not have to go back. That's the essence of private screening. If there is need, in the editing, not in reshooting. But if it requires you reshoot, maybe you have to reshoot. But most times, people will check the cost of reshooting and then try and manipulate through editing to correct those stuff before the main premiere. So it is in that premiere now that the premiere now is more like the normal stand-up comedy. You sleep on the catch you. It's more like what these stand-up comedians do. That they invite their fellow comedian, they will put a gate fee, table for 10, table for 20 people. That's another way of making money through film production. So after you do that premiere, you invite people, table for 10, table for 20, table for this, and you will see people. If you invite top men of God that will come and so many other Christians that will come, then you do the premiere. And the premiere now you can strategically do this premiere and you will do it in 3 different states. You can do in Abuja, you can do in Lagos, you can do in Port Harcourt. So imagine you doing a premiere in Abuja and then putting your table for regular tickets. You don't make money for Abuja, you still take, and up to now the film never come out though. You understand? The film is not yet out to any distributor. You're still with your master copy and every other thing. You're just doing the premiere for people to see it for the first time in Abuja. You finish Abuja, you go to Port Harcourt to do the same thing. Go to Lagos, do the same thing. By the time you gather the whole money for all the tickets you have sold, you must have been making close to how much you spent to make the movie. If not all itself, at least close to. Then when the film itself now, but that's when you now look for distributor. People that will help you distribute you, like cinemas that can buy it. And when these cinemas buy, they have a right to show it anytime. So if maybe a cinema is getting a right to show your movie for so period of time, they will pay you for it. So people don't usually understand this film business before they go into it. And so that's why most of them will be on the loss. I have a friend that shot, the 2 of them are really my friend. One is actually my colleague that we are both doing masters now. And then the other one too is my friend, although I was like 2 years ahead of him in the university then. So they both partnered and did a film production, and because they are already in the business, they know how this thing works. They did a premiere first of all, and the premiere was something else.
Did you attend?
I attended now.
Yeah.
I attended. The premiere was something else.
In
People
Lagos?
came. No, in Oka.
Oh, okay.
In Oka there. People came massively. And the tickets, 3,000 regular, 10,000 VIP. I think 30,000 VIP. And you know people will definitely come. So after the premiere, the guys still took the film to some online viewing platforms. You sell to this one, you sell to this one, because nobody has a monopoly of the film. So you sell to this one, you sell to this one, you sell to this one, you sell to them. And then you've gotten your money. So, and me, another thing I want to do is that the serious films I want to produce, I want to use gospel artists. There are so many gospel artists that are talented actors. Are you a gospel artist? Somebody like Bessie Chinwo now.
Yeah, that's true.
You understand? And even some of them that are not really talented in acting, but let them just.
Secular oneself that are Christians.
Yes, you still bring them in. Yes, now I have so many of them in mind that I would work with somehow. Sure, you get. So, but that is the film. That is for the film project, and then the content creation. Oh wow, you know my cheap. They might talk like you. You know my cheap. Oh wow. Even that my friend I was even telling you about, that is a nurse. She don't even tell me. I told you we are in the same drama group now.
Yes.
She don't tell me, say, because anytime you start producing movie, if I don't enter your movie, if I don't enter, and she likes acting, but she's in the sciences. But she likes, and I think it's that thing from her mom that entered her somehow. You know, I told you her mom graduated from my department, so she likes anything acting and film. So that one will not be a problem. It won't be a problem.